Varsity Sports Show presents The Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Get tips on staying healthy and active with locally renowned fitness guru, Tyler Mayer. And now, here's Tyler.
All right, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona and the Fitness Minute with our old friend Tyler Mayer. We started this segment, I think it was more for me than anything because, you know, I put on a little weight throughout this pandemic, needed to get out there with some low impact stuff to kind of, as Tyler would say, get moving. And it's been okay. I've been managing it okay. I need to ratchet it up just a bit. But Tyler, how you doing, sir?
Hey Vince, good morning. Good morning, Varsity Sports listeners. I am doing fantastic. Kind of a hunker down in the car here before we hit the soccer field. A little breezy out here in the West Valley this morning.
Out in the West Valley, huh? Okay, so your son's got a game, right?
We've got some soccer matches today. Absolutely. So looking forward to it.
Nice. Okay, so we spoke offline a little bit this week about kind of the itinerary for the show, and this week you wanted to talk a little bit about heart health.
Well, absolutely, Vince, and the reason why, I mean, for one, it's the most important muscle in the body, and some may not realize that, but the heart is a muscle. It's the cardiac muscle. So without that fully functioning effective and efficiently, we know what sometimes the end result can be. So absolutely, near and dear to my heart is how we train and condition our body to be as effective and efficient as possible. So when we talk about effort, you know, and I just want to kind of go back to my glory days, you know, if there's one thing somebody can control, and boy, I really try and preach this into my young athletes and even my clients now, is you may not have the most skill, but you can sure put in the effort. You know, I tell you, Vince, there was one thing somebody didn't do, and that was out-effort me on the soccer field. So, man, absolutely. And, you know, in the fitness industry, in the fitness world, we know that maybe a little differently as intensity. So it's probably pretty well known out there that there's lots of wearables that we can get our hands on now, the Fitbits, the Apple, the iPhone watches, the MyZone training. When we talk about different levels and different zones of heart rate training, that's really where we see our differences, and that's really where we see our conditioning start to take place.
Okay, so you're big in doing things such as tracking steps and things like that. So where could someone start? Does somebody, let's say like me, that has a pretty small budget?
Okay, absolutely. You know, you can start by, dare we say, just get moving. You know, so there's a very subjective, inexpensive tool called How Do You Feel? You know, how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being, hey, I can hold a conversation up until, say, maybe level 3. We pick up the moderate intensity a little bit from maybe 4 to 6. And then from 7, 8, 9, and 10, it's a little bit more vigorous. And that's where we start to tap into a different energy source. And we can have a whole different physiological lesson on what takes place in the body. But at the end of the day, go off of how you feel, that rate of perceived exertion. And if you've got a few bucks, I'll tell you what, Vince, I'm not a wearable guy, but last Father's Day, I got a Fitbit, and I cannot take this thing off because it holds me accountable. Now, contrary to that, we want to take steps. That's great because that tells us we're moving. But what is our heart rate doing throughout the day while we're taking those steps? Are we pushing it through different zones of heart rate training throughout the day? Here's the crazy thing, Vince. I'm going to drop some knowledge. It's only required or recommended 150 minutes a week of moderate to vigorous exercise. Do the math real quick. 21 minutes a day is all we need to make a subtle difference in our cardiovascular capacity. Man, that's 10 rounds of 1 minute jumping jacks with a 1 minute rest in between and a 60-second stretch at the end. I think we can make that happen.
Oh boy. Well, Tyler, you make it sound so easy. So I'm going to get out there and I'm going to turn it up a little bit today.
Man, I tell you what, it can be that easy, you guys. And And I tell you what, we'll talk real simple math. And there's other fitness professionals out there. I know there's a whole other formula we can get into to really get our estimated maximum heart rate. Folks, listen up. 220 minus your current age is a very basic formula to find your estimated max heart rate. So now we want to exercise anywhere between 65 and 80% of that max heart rate will get us some pretty substantial cardiovascular conditioning. Okay? And we've talked about it before. Cardiovascular conditioning mixed with a little resistance training, your body becomes an efficient calorie fuel burning machine.
All right. Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Tyler, where can people find you?
People can find me at active_8_coaching or Desert Highland Scottsdale. You can find me all over that page. Man, I'm so happy to be here. Like you said at the beginning of the show, we are so blessed to have this platform. And I heard you say pass it forward. Whatever you can do, you got the skill set out there. I'm telling you guys, I know the best exercise program is the one that you will do. So stay well, you guys, and keep moving.
There he goes. Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Thank you so much, Tyler. And we will check back with him in the next couple of weeks